Story time. Crazy things that happened in my life, part 1, crackhead. So, today's video, I'm just decided, I'm going to talk about things that happened in my life that were a little crazy and just let it all out. And if you like it, like for part 2. So, I worked with this guy at 7-Eleven back in Florida. And he wanted to hang out, so we ended up hanging out. I didn't know what kind of person he fully was until later on. So I ended up going to his place, I'm hanging out. Turns out this guy does drugs. Does the fat mixed with coke. And how I figured that out was I dropped something on the floor and I saw a needle right underneath the dresser, so I asked him about it. And he opened up and he had told me about his drug addiction and that he did that a lot. I'm like, okay. So I was still cool with the guy. I was still friends with him, chill with him. I didn't tell anybody about secret or whatnot. And then what ended up happening later on was that crazy time. We were still hanging out and all. We go to Walmart. So we're at Walmart, alright? And his car is having problems with a battery. So he's trying to talk me into, like, hiding a battery, like, in my hoodie or something. And then he distracts people and walks out. And I'm like telling him, no, I'm not doing any of this shit. So he's trying to do it himself and whatnot. I'm just chilling. He gets caught. But he makes up an excuse like, oh, I probably got the wrong price or something, and blah, blah, blah. And he gets away with it. And we're in the car. And then he ends up figuring it out. I don't know what he did, but he ends up getting it working. I don't know if he asked somebody else for help or what happened, but I honestly forgot. So, we're in there. We're in the car, chilling. It's downpouring raining. And I also got my friend with me. I got my friend with me when this was all happening at Walmart. And he's in the back seat. He asks us, is anybody looking? I'm like, no, nobody's around. He pulls out his little fat bag and his Coke and Gatorade. And what he does is that, I'll show him an example. He had like a little Gatorade cap, and he put a little Gatorade in it, and he mixed the fat with the Coke together and put it in the syringe, and then just shot up right there in the car with us all in it. I'm like, what the fuck? And the crazy part was, it was downpouring raining too. Like, it was really raining so bad. And he starts driving, we're driving, he asked me for directions back to the place. So I'm like, alright. So I put it in the GPS. And the problem was, I put the wrong location in. It took me somewhere else. So I don't know why that happened, but it did. And then we're driving, we're getting lost, and it's downpouring raining, and he starts swerving. As we're fucking driving, he starts swerving off this shit. And then eventually I find out the right, directions that we got to go. And we end up getting there, and we're all safe. Luckily, thank the Lord. We're all safe and good. Alright. Later on. So, my roommate, ends up hanging out with this guy, becomes friends with him. He ended up doing a bump. Like that coke shit. He ended up doing one with him one night, and he starts freaking out and whatnot and shit. Like, he said he was having, like, a nervous panic attack a little bit. He was, like, calling me, talking to me about it and everything, but luckily he was okay. Later on, we're still hanging out with this dude, and he tells us that if I clean his place, he'll pay me and my roommate money, my friend. I'm like, okay, cool. So we end up cleaning his whole place. Never got money. And another shitty part was that he asked me if he could borrow my computer. That was $700. So I'm like, yeah, man, you can borrow it, because his girlfriend, because he did have a girlfriend. I don't know why his girlfriend was with him, but she was. And she needed it for an interview. So I'm like, that's understandable. She takes it to her, like, parents' place for an interview, leaves it there, and he's like, oh yeah, she left it there, blah, blah. I'll give it to you whenever I can, probably in about a week. I'm like, a week? Fuck. I'm like, alright. Week comes, Nothing. Turned out, later on, this guy just moved. Like, moved out of his whole place. He was getting ready to leave and everything. I had a whole argument with him. I was texting him. He was like, why do you think I would rob you, man? You're like a brother. I wouldn't do that and shit. I'm like, bro, it's been like fucking weeks. Like, 3 to 4 weeks. Like, it's getting way too beyond. Like, I'm feeling robbed. I don't know what you do to my fucking computer. I want to know. And just removes me and everything. Like, he tries to, like, switch it up on me, make it look like it was my fault. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how is this my fault? I lended you my computer for your girlfriend to use, cleaned up your house that you still haven't paid me for, and everything. And I ended up begging his house, the place that he ended up moving out, because I thought he was still getting shit there, you know, taking it back to the other place. Nope, he was already gone already, and I egged that house for no reason. So, yeah, that was, story time for part 1. He's gone. I got a brand new computer. Well, not brand new, but it's way better from the last one. God gave me things way much more than what was taken from me. I don't talk to that friend anymore. The one that was hanging out with him. And I was hanging out with him. The one that I included in the story. We don't talk anymore. Maybe I'll put that on part 2 of a reason why. So another incident that happened with the guy that I forgot to mention about was that my mom was dyeing my hair red at one point. So he comes over and he knocks on my screen door trying to come in, and he asked me for help. He was like, yo, bro, I have a problem. There was a guy that just overdosed on my parking lot, and he's in my bathtub right now. I dragged him out of my bathtub. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, my mom tells him to leave. He eventually leaves. And I'm like, what the fuck? My mom's arguing with me, like, why are you around this guy and everything? And yeah, so I don't talk to that guy anymore. But yeah, that's story time for part 1. This is already like a 6-minute, 40-second video, so this is a very long story time. So if you want to hear more, like for part 2. Peace out.